guys, it's Cara here from Owlet. Welcome to another amazing day of painting. Today we'll be using materials you can find in your cupboard at home, and it'll be the only day that I'll encourage you to drink the paint. So I'm going to take you through 3 steps to complete a coffee and tea artwork. Let me show you some of the things you'll need. So you'll need a piece of watercolour paper, a cup of hot water, a plate with a little bit of coffee. This is Moccona, not the best to drink, but it's good to paint with. Just some black tea. This is just Dilma, as well as a paintbrush, a pencil, and an outliner. This is just from Officeworks, and I love it. It's called Uniball, I find. Very good. And a cup of coffee. So let's get started. Okay, so step 1. You're going to need your lead pencil. You can choose to follow along with me, or you can do something entirely up to you. So we're going to use this for our subject. I'm going to find the center point on my paper and do a small circle. Oval. Bring down the sides. And then follow along the bottom, the same curve as the top. And then we're going to do a larger circle over the top. So just keep your lines nice and fine. Don't press too hard, because these are just your starting lines. Just make sure that happy with those lines. Then we're going to start the shoulders. So I like to find my points first and then start lines. So bring down arms on each side, elbow, just nice and light. Arms, and then her dress will begin. Other side. Her waist. Curve that like a C for a strap. Then again. Her back. So, and then shoulder blades. Then we're going to start her a bit of ruffle for her dress. I'm just going to tuck in behind it there. Okay, a bit of ruffle. Okay. Outline looks pretty good. Yep, happy with that. So now I'm going to start step 2. So you're going to take your tea bag, just dip it in the water, give it a little dunk, and then just tip a little bit of the water onto the coffee. Like that. We just need a little bit of wetness on our coffee like that. Okay, so take your brush and you're going to start with our outline. So you can outline, there's no right or wrong way to outline. You can do this any way you like. I'm just going to wet my brush in the hot water and dip it into the coffee. And I'm going to start with the hat, where we started at the beginning. Just add a few lines. Like that. Similar to the way that we use watercolour. So if you haven't used watercolour before, you're basically just moving the water around the paper rather than the paint. It's really fun to use. Just moving it around. It can be a little bit messy with this. Again, there's no right and wrong way to do it. And then we're going to start with her dress. Fill that in. Some parts. Then outline arms and a little bit on her shoulder blades and her other arm. So I'm just really gently touching my brush down on the paper. And so you can see when you first put down the coffee, it's a lot darker than when you use it up. So add little dabs like that. Okay, now I'm going to take the tea bag, dip it in the water again, dip it a little bit in the coffee, and just splattering it around her skirt. Not too much. Then I'm taking my brush again and I'm just going to drag this darker coffee around, pulling that water around with me. A little bit more. Get a bit of a ruffle. Now the best thing to do with this coffee art is to keep it pretty simple. So you don't want to overdo it with too much coffee, too much water. Keep it nice and simple. Love these colours. Super natural and earthy tones. Okay, so now you're just going to let that one dry. And then we're going to start step 3. So just while that one's drying, I just thought I would share with you why I started painting with tea and coffee unintentionally. I was at uni studying new media art, spending way too much time on my computer and my phone. It just wasn't healthy. So I thought I would get out the paints again. Pulled out my paints, my paper, my paintbrushes, went to sit down with my coffee and spilt on my paper. As I was getting up to like clean things up, I started to see a bit of an owl take shape on my paper. So I decided to get my paintbrush, move the coffee around and left it to dry, pulled it back out, outlined it, and there you have it. Owlet outlet. My little creative outlet started. And it just, you know, times like these crazy times right now made me think of my tea and coffee days. And it's just a medium that's accessible for everyone. And it's just fun and easy to use. So I just thought, yeah, pull out the tea and coffee, have a bit of a paint. It's even beautiful tones too, like the earthy natural tones. Frame it up, looks good. All right, I'll let that one dry. Okay, so once your artwork has dried, we'll start step 3. So you're going to take your fine liner, and this is the fun part. We can just start outlining our artwork and go over those original pencil lines that we started with. So I'm going to again start with the top, the hat, and lines here. Because I'm right-handed, I always start from the left side first and then move my way over, just because I don't want to smudge any of this pen over my artwork. Just working my way over. So now's the time so you can correct your work, and if there was a pencil line that was like a little bit out, you can fix it up with your pen and just bring out those lines that you're happy with. Doing a little bit of a ruffle in the dress. Okay. And you just keep going until you're happy with it. You can even use your fine liner to do some little like bits of shading, so some dots and any kind of textures. Like now's your time to really have fun, and well, the whole thing's fun. And then you want to just sign your work. Okay, once your outline is dried, don't forget to take an eraser and just get rid of some of those pencil lines. And there you have it, guys. 3 steps to complete your tea and coffee artwork. So we had our pencil outline, our tea and coffee painting, and our fine lining outline. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll show you one that I prepared earlier for a little bit of inspo. So same kind of thing with the flowers. I've added those in, splatters of tea and coffee and outline. So there's so much you can do with this. Find a vase or anything around the room, something that inspires you, turn it into a tea and coffee artwork. I'd love to see yours, so please share them with me and on the page. Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have the best day.